My name is Beston. I live in Cape Town. Also, I do delivery. Interbet helped me to realize my dreams. Now I have my own delivery vehicle and I'm able to do the removal in and around Cape Town.
Stepping on the gas and stepping into the territory for race number 5 over 1,500 meters. So it's the in-between trip between the 14 and the 16. They go the 1,500. So let's see who takes it best and enjoys it out there. But before we get to the selections for the Gallop TV Pinnacle Stakes Fillies and Mares race, let's go to the interview package. We do have interviews with Michael Roberts, Byron Foster, and also Duncan Hulls.
For a change, she got a good draw. If she put her best foot forward, she must be a runner. Also been a bit disappointing, she's given us a couple of good runs. I think the 1,500 trip is just about the right trip for her. And, she's in good form.
She needed her last run. She had a weak prep. We struggled through December with her muscle enzymes, and she was always going to just need that run, and she ran closer than we expected, so she has come on from it. Trip-wise is probably at the bottom end of her range, but she's shown through her career she's been pretty versatile. We're expecting a big improvement.
Yeah, look, for sure she's well in herself. I went over bloods with her after her last run in soundness. Couldn't find any problems with her. I think possibly the race was just run at a false pace, and she battled to quicken up the straight. It was extremely hot on that day. Possibly a bit of heat stress. I've got no real explanation for the race. But I feel that she's well in herself. Sean Veal suits her well. I think she'll give a very good account of herself. Very honest filly. She's racing consistently. I think possibly her last start was she was a little bit outclassed. Plus she didn't have a good draw that day and the going was exceptionally wet. She made her run on the outside and she made up ground, but she just couldn't make up enough ground on the day at the weights. I think she's nicely handicapped in the race. If she can overcome the outside draw, I wouldn't leave her out of quartet.
Right, so race number 5, let's get straight to the selections, and I'm going with the Michael Roberts runner, number 1, Kayleen, who is currently trading at 10-1. I believe this is the value in the race. Obviously, once upon a time, she was a 106 in the ratings as a youngster. Dropped down to an 87, and although this being a Pinnacle Stakes, will get the 1.5 kilograms off for Rachel Venica. Michael Roberts mentioned she's in a good space. The last run behind Malcolm's Dream, I believe there's going to be a form reversal or at least get a lot closer. And this is a horse, if she brings her A game, I think at 10-1, tremendous value. And with that one draw in her favour, her last run, she was dropped out of it. She tugged hard against the steel. If she brings her A game, I think she'll make them run a bit of 10-1.
She's definitely loaded with ability, and sometimes horses may lose their form, but they never lose their ability. Massive draw swing around there. It's got the plum draw with Rachel aboard, taking the 1.5 kgs off the back. I've got to agree with Sheldon. This has got to be a massive runner here. This does form part of my top 2 selections. And talking about top 2 selections, they are number 7, Dance Malord, and number 1, Kayleen. So Sheldon, now that you like number 1, Kayleen, I like number 7, Dance Malord at around about 6-7-1. I think that could be a really nice exactor on the day.
Yeah, we're usually quite close when we come to the exactors and the swingers, so that could be a wonderful exactor or swinger, and those will be 2 horses to throw in. Dance Malord, the daughter of Coup de Gras from the MJ Oudendal stable. She's gifted with natural ability, and this is a horse who comes to the course, big, strong individual, and will certainly give a good account of herself. Just looking at the course, the one victory at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, and distance-wise, I think 1,500 meters is ideal. There's one over the 1,600, one over the 1,400. I think the 1,900 was just too far.
And another massive plus is she tends to really run well here on the turf. I'm not saying that she doesn't have good poly form, but she generally runs well on the turf. So the last run on the poly, a little bit disappointing. I had a good look at that rerun, and I said she's back on the turf now with Daryl Daniels aboard. It's got to be a massive runner.
Number 9, Lucky Miss, needs her airtime from the Duncan Howell stable. Kabeli Dehaba will take off the weight, the 2.5 kilograms. A horse who always runs admirably every time she comes to the track. That last run, just a little bit below par, but if you ignore that last performance, a horse who's always there in the scrum. So you've got to give this one healthy respect. And then let's touch on the favourite, which is number 5, For Sure. This is the current 4-1 joint favourite, with number 3, Malcolm's Dream, now drifting out 9-2. So For Sure is the outright favourite at 4-1. And they mentioned they did bloods. They tried to figure out what went wrong last time out. So they were looking for excuses. And obviously better than that run suggests, but is taking on a lively field.
Yeah, it's taking on a very lively field, but I must say that this horse has been a little bit disappointing for my liking, and I say that respectfully because I expected a lot better from her. I know that she's a lot better than her recent form, but I see the handicap has pushed her up to a 97. So we'll just have to see how she performs, but you can't really be confident with that kind of form because she can be unreliable.
100% right. And then talking about number 3, which is Malcolm's Dream, got to give this one a mention. It's really in terrific form, winning 2 out of the last 3. Has gone up from a 68 to an 84. And although this is a pinnacle stakes, might just have it all to do against this type of field. Not saying that she can't follow up, but just driving up at that merit rating might have a little bit of a stiffer task here. So number 1, Kayleen, we believe could be the value. And then number 7, Dance Lord. Devon says this is the one that we're going to go with each way. So between numbers 1 and 7, try your swingers, exactors, and throw them into the trifectas and quartets.
It's good fun. Days like these are great. You get the whole industry together. And to have, companies and corporations like Interbet and Cape Racing who are so generous with sort of time and energy into making a day like this possible is it's fantastic for everyone.